Okay. My name is Michael Berger. Grew up in Calgary, Alberta, in Canada, and I'm a senior. Yeah.
And your major?
Biomedical engineering. Yes.
And
That's
so
usually the last thing.
we're standing over here by the Rockwall at Carey Street Gym. So kind of tell us why it's one of your favorite places to be.
It's probably my favorite place because it's the one place where you can like relieve stress. You build up a lot of stress doing engineering coursework and stuff like that. It's a place where you can, kind of relieve it working out. Everyone here is super friendly. That's one of the nicest things about working at the Rockwall is everyone is inviting. There's a positive atmosphere. You never really leave the wall with a sour mood going on.
When did you, discover the Rockwall?
Freshman year I started off with it, and then I was afraid of heights, so it took me 3 years to really get into it. But my roommate he's eons ahead of me in rock climbing, and so he got me into it, and I've been training really hard for the last 2 years or so. So I guess sophomore year, junior year.
It's pretty neat.
It's been here.
And been doing it ever since?
Ever since. Hope to continue it for 2 or 3 more decades.
And did you, obviously, after you got into it, did you just decide to start working over with the wall?
Yeah, so I ended up I was here every day, and then eventually they were like, hey, you're here every day, you're here all the time. Do you want a job here? We have some extra shifts open. And then that's how I started working here. Then I worked here over the summer, and then applied to be a manager. And through that, I've had opportunities to learn how to be a climbing wall instructor. Got my certification recently for that, which is super nice because now you can take that skill and pretty much go anywhere. Yeah.
So outside of that, any other sort of, through that student affairs experience, what else did you learn about yourself?
I've definitely learned to be more outgoing. When I started off here, I was kind of shy, and just dealing with people or being able to talk to people who you've never met before is probably the greatest learning experience that I've had. Also, just the friendships you've made here since I started working here, I've met maybe 30 people who I consider some of my closest friends that I would go to for pretty much anything, which is really nice. It's
awesome.
It's a small family, which is fantastic, especially working for the OAP.
That's pretty cool. That kind of leads into an overall question. What does the VCU experience mean to you?
I think the best part about VCU is that you can pretty much find a place that you're comfortable with regardless of what your interests are. So I like being outside. I also like math. It's kind of weird, but you can find a group of people. We have other engineers that work here as well, and you can talk to somebody about your engineering homework, or you can talk to them about going rock climbing next weekend. So it's probably the nicest experience, or probably the greatest perk about going to VCU, especially the gym. I mean, that was probably one of the biggest selling points. When you walk in through the lobby at the beginning of your college tour, you can see yourself and you're like, oh man, I can be physically fit here. I can probably let off some steam here, but being healthy is probably it's really important to be healthy, honestly.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the priorities for student affairs is wellness, and it's more than just the physical aspect, but it's a big part of it. Getting started, sort of the introduction to it. So that's kind of cool that resonated with you.
Yeah, and then as long as you're getting started with it, they also offer you a ton of opportunities to keep learning. If it's interesting to you, you basically can just roll with it and take it as far as you want. And we have a lot of people who want to turn this into a career. And that's awesome to figure out in college.
Yeah. And speaking of career, you're upcoming on graduation.
Yeah.
So two-part question. First part, anything you want to accomplish or anything that you've aspired so far that you're really proud of? And then the second part, obviously plans for after graduation.
Probably the biggest accomplishment I would like. There's a lot of things I'm proud of. Probably doing undergraduate research, pairing that up with working here at the Rockwall. I want to go out to Yosemite and do some big wall climbing, like the nose, or even single pitch, just 200-foot routes or something. Just get out west, kind of see the United States. Graduate school is the next step, PhD program. I want to do implant technologies, so it's titanium implants for athletic injuries, different things like that. And I think I'm set up pretty well to do that in the future, hopefully, with BME.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And looking back on all your years here, any sort of words of wisdom, advice you have for students that are currently at VCU?
Be a yes man. just like if somebody invites you somewhere, say yeah, because generally it's going to be a good experience, especially if it's partnered with the outdoor adventure program or like rec sports. You might struggle initially, but generally I think you're going to find a good place where you fit in, and you're going to find something you love to do and stay active.
Right.
And I think that's a good balance, especially with all the coursework.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously, freshman year, you had no idea.
Yeah,
You'd
no
want to
idea.
go to Yosemite
I-
when you graduate.
Freshman year, I was like, I just want to get good grades. I want to go to medical school. Graduating, I'm like, maybe not medical school, but I want to help people and I want to be outside. And I think this is the main reason why that's the case, honestly.
That's awesome.
Yeah.